Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on Saturday, February 25th, 2017 at 16:40 in the afternoon Eastern Time. Now, last night, well actually, yesterday, toward the end of the day, it was an interesting day. I just got seized with the idea that I wanted to have some Domino's pizza. Well, I really wanted Jet's pizza, but I knew that Domino's would come immediately, and it did. And sometimes you just gotta have some pizza, And then just as I was kind of getting ready to go to bed, I got an email from a friend. Said, do you want to Skype? I said, yeah, sure, let's Skype, And so we Skyped till 10:30. And some of the stuff he talked to me about got me thinking about irresistible impulses, if there are such things. Certainly from time to time there seem to be such things, as long as they're not any worse than the story I'm going to tell you, or buying pizza unexpectedly. I guess there's no harm done. But it seems that this fellow, well, I won't tell you where he lives, but the fellow he lives with is a principal at a school in their area, and it seems that a second grade teacher called him fairly distraught. Now, what had happened was, these two boys in the second grade class raised their hands and asked to go to the bathroom. Could they go to the bathroom? And she said, yeah. Well, first of all, that's mistake number one. You don't let two kids go to the bathroom together. You certainly don't let two guys go to the bathroom together, no matter what their age is. And so she carried on with what she was teaching or doing, or whatever that passes for education nowadays in the public school system. And after a while, she realized these kids hadn't come back. So she went to look for them. And, she couldn't find them. And of course, then she called the principal, and, sort of a school-wide search, and probably some sort of lockdown thing, and, but these kids were gone. Now, as it transpired, what happened was this. The one kid, one of the boys, had taken his dad's credit card. Shame on the dad for not paying attention to where his credit card is. And he and his buddy, these are like 8 years old kids, they're about the same age as my grandson. He's in second grade. They got on, they live in a city where there's a train service to the airport. And they got on the train and went to the airport. And the intention was to try to get on, buy a ticket and go to New York City. It's sort of a novel twist on the running away from home thing, isn't it? Instead of putting a shirt and a pair of pants and a bag and putting on your back and walking down the road, they were going to fly across the United States to go to New York City. Well, that didn't come to fruition. But before the people at the airport got suspicious enough to really want to investigate why they were there. These kids decided to go back on, get back on the train and go back home. And they went back to the school. They weren't gone. They couldn't have been gone all that long. But anyway, they went back to the school, and it was like, oh, we're so glad to have you back. Oh, what happened? And they said, then they said, the people, the adults asked them, why did you do that? And the one kid said, I just felt this irresistible urge to go to New York. An honest answer. And along that same line, I want to tell you about an irresistible urge I had when I was around 9 years old in 1961. Now, that was in the age of dial telephones, and I couldn't find one where you saw the cutoff button. And in the age of, to dial long distance, you had to dial 0, talk to the operator, give them the number, and then they would make the call for you. Well, or they'd put you through, was what they ended up doing. This was before touch-tone dialing, or at least in our house, or on our line, or whatever. And my mother and her sisters would talk on the phone generally once a week. And that's long distance, see. That's big deal. That's big deal then. Long distance was a big deal then. And like when my sister went to college, between 61 and 65, whenever she called home, all three of us, my dad, my mother, and myself, would gather around the phone and listen to what she had to say. And it was even more, important in the sense that she was making collect call, because there was no way to make a long distance call from the dormitories. And, well, it would amount to the same thing. She'd have to go to a payphone to make a long distance call anyway. So my mother and my aunt are chatting away very amiably, and I'm in the same room. I'm sitting in the room. I'm actually standing right next to the table. We had the phone on a table, much like this, and right in the middle of the house. I mean, there's no privacy on the phone. Generally, when you got one of these, there's a long distance call, everybody gathered. One of your friends called, everybody's listening, although from afar, a little bit more from afar. The kitchen next door, sort of thing. And I'm standing there, and to this day, I have no idea why I did this. I slowly extended my index finger. And I reached hither toward the phone. And I hit the cutoff button. I disconnected my mother from my aunt, from her sister. My mother saw my hand advancing slowly toward the phone. But she never made a sound. I don't think she didn't have a sound, and I can't remember whether I wondered why isn't she making a sound or not, but I had this irresistible impulse to cut that phone call off. I don't know why, but that's what I did. So, I understand a bit about irresistible impulses on that. So on that note, there's the finger, there's the phone. Finger and phones. So bye-bye, YouTubers.